She thought her light was useless, until one night, someone's life depended on it.
In a forest where the night shimmered like a sky full of fallen stars, countless fireflies lit up the darkness. They twirled between the trees, painting the air with glowing golden trails. The forest felt alive, magical, fearless. But among all that brilliance, there was one tiny light that barely flickered. Her name was Lumi. While others danced boldly in the open sky, Lumi stayed behind on a quiet green leaf, watching from the shadows. Her glow was soft, small, uncertain, and every night, as she watched the others shine so brightly, a question echoed inside her heart. Why am I not like them? She tried to glow brighter. She tried to push her light harder. But the more she compared herself to the others, the dimmer she felt inside. But someone had been watching her all along. Burra, the old turtle with moss resting gently on his shell and wisdom carried quietly in his patient eyes. He had seen many seasons change. He had watched storms tear through the trees, and sunlight return again. And when he looked at Lumi, he didn't see weakness. He saw a light that simply didn't know its own strength. Little spark, he said softly, the size of your glow does not measure the strength of your light. Lumi wanted to believe him. But the forest felt so big, and she felt so very small. That same night, the wind grew colder. Shadows stretched longer across the ground. The cheerful hum of the forest faded into silence. And somewhere between the trees, a tiny voice trembled. It was Miko, a baby raccoon who had wandered too far from home. The trees that once felt friendly now looked like towering giants. Every snapping twig sounded like danger. Every moving shadow felt alive. His small paws trembled against the forest floor. Tears filled his wide eyes. He tried to be brave. But he was alone, and in the stillness of the night, Lumi heard him. She froze mid-air, her wings stopped beating, her heart flickered like her fragile light. She felt his fear, she felt his loneliness, and for a moment, fear wrapped around her too. What if I'm not bright enough? What if I try, and it isn't enough? The darkness seemed endless, but then she remembered Burra's words. Slowly, very slowly, she allowed herself to glow. Not perfectly, not powerfully, just honestly. A tiny golden light pushed gently against the dark. And something unexpected happened. The darkness didn't fight her. It softened. It moved aside. Miko saw the glow in the distance. Small, warm, steady. It wasn't the brightest light in the forest. But it was there, and that was enough. He took one careful step toward it. Then another, through tangled roots, past silent trees, across long shadows. With every step he took, Lumi's light grew stronger, not because it became bigger, but because it became braver. Behind them, Burra watched quietly. A soft smile formed beneath his ancient eyes. He had always known, the forest was still dark, the night was still deep, but it no longer felt frightening, because even the smallest light can change the way the night feels. When they finally reached the edge of a clearing, the first hint of sunrise touched the sky. Blue melted gently into gold. Miko looked up at Lumi. His tears were gone. In their place was hope. And in the reflection of his grateful eyes, Lumi finally saw herself clearly. She was never too small. She was never too dim. She was simply waiting for a reason to shine. And from that night on, she no longer hid her glow. Not because she was never afraid again, but because she understood something powerful. Somewhere, in some dark corner of the world, someone might be waiting for her light. And sometimes, the smallest spark is the one that guides the way home.